This is Rob Liefeld. Kai Review is going down.
Hey guys, just finished watching Runaways, Season 3, Episode 1, Smoke and Mirrors. Wow, what an episode. This episode was definitely quite interesting. We do have interesting ideas for this season. It is quite interesting that they're doing everything. They dropped everything done, and this is eventually going to be the last season that we do get for this show and stuff. But we'll have to wait and see as to where things go with this. I guess they announced that it's all canceled, and Marvel and Disney have shut down the TV division of Marvel, so they can focus on just having Marvel Studios take over and making all the TV shows on Disney Plus. So it would be interesting to see these characters maybe return at some point on a Disney Plus show, but it doesn't seem like that's probably going to happen, and so we'll have to wait and see as to where things go for the future of this show. But this first episode was really interesting, really kind of goes right into it. We're going to have to wait and see as to how I kind of decide to film these things. I'll probably do a couple of bits here and there. I might just binge it all and then, do my first review of the first episode, which this will be, and then do one for the end of this thing, and then just do like that. So I can just binge it all in very fast and then kind of get into the whole thing. So we'll have to wait and see. But let me know if you want episode by episode, but I'll probably just binge it all fast and then kind of do it that way. So this first episode was really interesting. Kind of we have all kinds of stuff going on. We get Elizabeth Hurley right away as Morgan Fay in the first episode. She's kind of only inside of Nico's head though. We get a bunch of dream stuff with people in the tubes inside of the algorithm and stuff. That was really cool. We see Molly's that we find out that the rest of them that are out there are kind of they're like, we got to do this. If we're going to attack our parents who are with these aliens inside of them, we kind of might have to kill them, when we have to be ready to do that. And they all agree to do that except for Molly, who is reluctant to do it, but she agrees to it. And I thought she was going to get to the point where, I thought it was going to be quite interesting where it's going to be this point where, and I think they could have pushed it a little bit longer to see Molly, in a situation where she's almost about to kill, because it didn't feel, I felt like she was like, she was in a situation where she might have had to it, but it wasn't really that like down to the point where she was about to kill her mother, or vice versa, have it flip on its head, have her realize that, she has the strength, like maybe her mother's about to kill her, maybe choking her and her hands are glowing, and then Molly just realizes that she can just use her strength to just either one, clock her mom just right in the head and pretty much kill her with her powers, or let her mother kill her, right? And I think they could have pushed that a little bit more, and I would have done that a little bit differently, by actually having her mother, like, maybe about to choking her with her hands glowing type thing, about to use her powers, and then maybe they, she snaps out of it just as she's about to, as Molly's about to wind up. And then she kind of, the last second stops because her mother snaps out of it, right? I think they could have done it a little bit better, but it was really okay done the way it was done. It's just they could have been written a little bit better, that scene, just to make it. It could have been written, more intense and stuff. But I guess that's all they had for that scene there. We see that Janet finds out that she's in the algorithm, and they end up, all three of them who are in the algorithm end up finding out, as it's too much power on the algorithm by having three people in there at once and stuff. So that was really cool. We see Carolina has like a wedding with Nico, and it's kind of ripped away from her once people start to realize what's going on, and she's just kind of stuck in an empty wedding with everyone disappearing, and that was really cool. And then later on we get Nico, Nico actually ends up inside of the failed wedding and stuff, so that's really cool. She has to say goodbye to her again type thing, even though it's real, but like she doesn't know what's real at this point, right? So I think that's really cool there. And then we see that Catherine Wilder pleads guilty for killing Darren last season. So that's going to be that's interesting there to see where things go. There's a lot going on here, and since this is the last season, it's going to be interesting to see how they kind of wrap things up, especially with Runaways coming into here. We get Catherine pleads guilty. We get Leslie's baby inside of her. We find out that he starts glowing and stuff, and he's the host of the fourth alien that we've been looking for throughout this whole episode, and it's quite interesting. So he's kind of sentient inside there, he's alive, and kind of, so that's going to be quite interesting to see as to what happens with that. Are we going to get like a CGI glowing, talking baby throughout this season? That'll be quite interesting to see as to where things go with that. So yeah, that'll be quite cool to see where things go. And then we also got a storyline with Gert learning more to, being trained by her father of how to control Old Lace and stuff. So that'll be quite interesting. I thought when he was talking about her that that Old Lace is going to develop powers like breathing fire or something like that. But no, it's just kind of training her a little bit more into how to use them. So that'll be quite interesting to see as to where things go with that, and how maybe they can find ways to kind of use. Especially with her getting full-on control of Old Lace, maybe finding more, nifty ways to use that. And I think that's one of those things since there's so many, comic book and superhero shows out there. Although I can't think of any one of them who has a dinosaur connection like this. It is nice to see these different powers and the more unique powers, but also, and since there's so much, comic book history, use them in a way that's kind of that's so nifty and nobody ever thought of. Use it in a unique way to this show. So that's one thing I'd like to see with Old Lace is used more than the obvious ways. You find unique moves, unique attacks or whatever to do with them, and that are kind of very unique and just kind of clever moves to use. I think that's what I'm really going to be interested to see as to how they use Old Lace this season. So let me know what you think guys about the first episode of Runaways. Are you excited for this season? You're going to binge it? And let me know what you think guys about this in the comments below. I'll see you guys. Peace.
We're here for Kyle Reviewed on YouTube, the very best Kyle Reviewed channel on all the YouTube Kyle Reviewed channels. You got that? You got that right? Thank you for watching Kyle Reviewed. Deadpool and I thought it was fantastic. You need to like, you need to subscribe. You know how it's done? Like, subscribe. Right, DP? All right, Kyle Reviewed. Cool channel.